welcome back to another episode of Sports Unlimited, where we dive deep into the exhilarating world of sports. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals, basically my 2 cents as to what's happened so far, what I believe is important, and what I've learned so far from, the last 2 games, which have been hurtful because I put myself out there and picked another team outside of my Spurs, and I've been let down. I don't think I can ever trust again after this. I will also be talking about the College World Series. My Aggies, woo woo woo, we're back in it with the number 3 spot. You know how we do. And of course, I'm going to give you my winners for just the first 8 games. I'm sorry, the first 4 games, and just the first 4 games. It's a, double elimination. So just because they lose one, don't mean they're out yet. No. So, yeah. And then, of course, as we go on to that, I'll give you more in depth of that as well. I'm also going to talk about each team, just a little 2 cents that I've picked up from each one. And we'll see what happens. But, of course, prepare for an episode packed with insight, speculation, excitement. This is Sports Unlimited. I am thrilled to have you on board. So let us get started. Thank you, Panda. And of course, like we said, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. Just a few things that I've learned so far that I find important about, what we know so far. So, I'm going to start it off with simply the defense. I mean, the Celtics are putting together a master defensive class, ladies and gentlemen. And if you tell me that they're not, you're ridiculous. Especially after Danny Green, all San Antonio Spurs fans are very familiar with Danny Green, saying that their defensive performance in Game 1 was quite unsustainable. However, as we saw from Sunday's game, it's actually quite sustainable. I mean, the Mavericks, although playing without Luka Doncic, struggled beyond the arc, hitting only 2 of 17 three-point attempts. Of course, Kyrie Irving had a tough night with going 7 for 18. All right, and of course, he missed all of his three-pointers. And that also gave Boston a lot of chances. But you cannot give Boston's strong defense enough credit for this. They just held everything. They overcame their poor 3-point shooting they were 10 for 39, with their defense. All right? Before Sunday's game, the Celtics had an 11-13 record when their opponents made more three-pointers than them. Yeah, see? Now, of course, a clutch block from Derek White sealed the game, and that shows that even though that they're out, they're still in with that such a strong defense. All right? As long as the Celtics maintain this defensive play at this level, watch out. We may have a new champion here in the next 2 games. But of course, we got to talk about the Mavs too. And I don't know, does anyone hear it? Does anyone hear that? Where the hell is the bench? All right, do we need to start putting their pictures on the milk carton? Mavs bench, where the heck are you? Okay, unlike Boston's deep, talented pool that they have, the Mavs face almost all the pressure in just finding consistent contributors to Kyrie and Doncic. Come on. All right? Yes, the Celtics are quite confident in what they're doing, but they can be because of the contribution that their bench is doing. I mean, Boston's defense is designed to handle star players one-on-one and with versatile defenders like Tatum, Brown, Holiday, and White. All right? So, in other words, if your star players are basically blocked, can't do much, somebody else has to step up. All right? The Celtics have neutralized Dallas's lob threat and spot up shooting. Come on. Plus Dallas role players, are struggling. Okay, without somebody creating the offense, it's like, what the hell? Maxi Kleber and PJ Washington, both who have had great impacts in this playoff, are failing and are making zero impact. They need to figure out a spark for their performance in their supporting cast. Otherwise, it's going to be a sweep. Back to the, to the Celtics. And as cheesy as this is, but I think Jaru is having quite a holiday. Get it? Yeah, I know. It's funny. But let's put it this way. Here's how the debate has been going for the Celtics since the playoffs. Last month, Jason Tatum was their best player. Game 1, Jaylen Brown was their the week before the playoffs, the finals, Jaylen Brown was the best player. After Game 1, Porzingis was their best player. After Game 2, now Jairo Holiday is their best players. And even Jason Kidd, coach of the Mavericks, has praised all these players, especially Brown, saying how good they are. But the truth is that they are just that good. All right? But of course, you can also give Holiday quite a lot of credit. Holiday's performance in Game 2 was remarkable, scoring 26 on 11 for 14 shooting without a turnover, while also contributing a strong defense and 11 rebounds. His ability, to adapt to different roles is one of the most crucial parts of this, of this series. Plus Jaylen Brown highlighted Holiday's excellence and versatility, pushing more of why he's so good. I mean, really, the credit goes to Brad Stevens for acquiring Holiday and making just a strategy to use him and move him wherever they want. It's been crazy. Of course, the other question is, where the hell is Kyrie Irving? Now, Irving had a decent performance on Sunday with the solid playmaking and defense, but the Mavericks need him to be great, which hasn't yet happened. He acknowledges his struggles. The first 2 games weren't the best for him. He shot 7 for 18 overall, but only 2 of 8 in the second half. But still, even though he recognizes this, he needs to play better. Now he's 12 games. He's 0-12 against the Celtics, and it doesn't look like he is getting better. And this is a very concerning trend, because if he doesn't figure things out, the Mavericks are not winning this championship. They need Kyrie Irving. They need the best of him for 4 more games. But I doubt they're going to get him at this point. And of course, you got to take credit to Tatum for being a benefactor out of all this. Jason Tatum had a rough start on Sunday's game. He missed his first 4 shots and finished the first half with only 5 points on 2 for 10, including going 0 for 3 in the 3-point range. However, he compensated by excelling as a playmaker, tying his playoff career high with 8 first-half assists, which equaled the Mavericks' total for the first 2 quarters. Plus, Jairo Holiday benefited from those assists, which we saw as why he was so good. So, really, Tatum is really evolving as, hey, I'm not always going to be the star, but I'm going to help my teammates be the star. And then, of course, you got to talk about Donovan. He's helpless right now, with no help in sight. I mean, Donovan took responsibility for Game 2, citing his missed free throws, which were 4, and his 8 turnovers. Though, it seems that he was being a little harsh on himself. He still had 32 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists with 4 steals. Really, it's not just all him, it's a whole team. Okay, the real issue here is, like I've said earlier, the lack of support. Okay, particularly given that Donovan is playing through some chest and leg soreness. But even if he was healthy, they have no support. He scored 23 first half points compared to 28 from his teammates and struggled to maintain energy for the fourth quarter, while playing 42 minutes. That's a lot. The Mavericks also shot poorly beyond the arc, only hitting 23%, with Donovan making 4 of those 6 total three-pointers. In other words, he's trying to do everything and he can't. Now, head coach Jason Kidd has said that he needs to give more support and then to figure out how to do this. But when is it coming? If it didn't come in game 1, it didn't come in game 2, who's to say it's going to come in game 3? I don't know. To me, it looks like it's not ever going to come. And my prediction of the Celtics winning in 7 is out the door. But we're going to have to wait and see. Because I'm questioning all this. My heart hurts right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sticking to my guns. I say the Mavs in 7. But if they don't win game 3, it's done. It's done. Plain and simple. But Panda, take us to our next thing. Thank you, Panda. And of course, now it's time for topic 2, the Men's College World Series. So, first and foremost, for the first time since 1948, we actually have a College World Series that consists of only 2 conferences, the SEC and the ACC. So, let's just call it what it is, the SEC and ACC Invitational. All right? On top of that, no, it should give us a very, very interesting performance, given that 7 out of the 8 teams are in the top 15, with the top 4 teams making the tournament. And of course, our only outlier will be Florida, who's unranked. So, let's go talk about each team. And I'm giving you my 2 cents on who's going to win that game. Just so that everyone understands, the beginning stages of the World Series is double elimination, meaning that just because you lose the first game does not mean that you're not going to continue forward. You have to lose twice in a row to be able to move on. All right? Plain and simple. So, let's go ahead and get started with our first game of the Girls Series. It's number 1, Tennessee versus number 8, Florida State. All right? Simply, I'm actually going to give it to Tennessee. I think that the little bump that they had in the regional was just there. You know, it was just like, because I think that they're great in their super regional. So, Tennessee is going to win this one. But, so, the reason why, plain and simple, Tennessee was eliminated from last year's Final 8 after 3 games, losing to the eventual national champs LSU. So, they're actually wanting to come back and be like, all right, we can do better. Plus, in 2024, the Vols hit 173 home runs, the second most by any single team in NCAA history. Okay, the record who was previously held by the 1997 LSU team, which also won the College World Series. All right, Florida State, on the other hand, is making the 24th College World Series appearance. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. No, behind only Texas, who has 38, and Miami, who has 25. No, FSU also boasts the most wins and the best record on a neutral field this season at 8-1. So that's a huge advantage here. All right. Plus, let's not forget what happened at the Future Regional by setting a new record for a single game in runs by defeating UConn 24-4 in Game 1 of the Tallahassee Super Regional last week. So, they're boasting. I still give it to Tennessee in a very close matchup. I don't believe Florida State is going to have a 24-4 advantage here. But again, I have it here. Now, I will add that the top overall seed has won the has won the College World Series championship since Miami did it in 1999. Okay? Since the format changed in best of 3 series in 2003, only 2 other number 1 seeds have ever reached the final, which was Texas when Texas did it in 04 and 09. All right. So either ways, though, even with that in mind, I'm still gonna give it to Tennessee to win this matchup and move on to the second game. Next, I have number 4 Florida, number 4 North Carolina. I'm sorry, against number 12 Virginia. So again, North Carolina, they're actually interesting matchup. After 4 games, they secured the victory in the Chapel Hill General after defeating LSU in a very decisive Game 7 that went into extra innings to advance. Interestingly enough, the last 24 World Series winners, 18 remained unbeaten in their respective regional tournaments. Okay, they're also the sole top 15 seed in 16 seed, in College World Series, all right, to remain undefeated in their original state, which gives a record of 1-3, including losses to East Carolina, South Carolina during the regular season. But either ways, I think they're very, very good right now. I think they're gonna give Virginia a hard time. But Virginia has also made their third World Series appearance in the past 4 years, so they're consistently here. All right. Now, although they were eliminated in 2 games last year and 3 games into 2021, this year's Omaha in this year could be different. Notably, because they're just playing better. A part of everything is just that they're just great. I mean, I don't even know how much to say that they're just being so great. So because of that, I'm actually going to give it to Virginia on this one. All right, number 2 Kentucky against number 10 NC State. So the number 2 national seed is making the first appearance in their College World Series. So this is Kentucky's first appearance, okay, since the program started in 1947, okay? The Wildcats were the last SEC program to reach the College World Series, even considering the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, all right? So, as the SEC's northmost school, Kentucky played the most non-NCAA tournament games on the road this year with 27 away games, which means that they know how to play away from home with achieving an impressive record of 19-8, okay, outside of Lexington. All right. Now, following that 10-8 victory over Western Michigan in Game 1 in the Lexington Regional, Kentucky was actually quite limiting their opponents to 3 runs across 4 games, including 2 shootouts. In other words, you put them away from home, they're limiting how much people are running on them. They're dangerous. Of course, NC State took us by surprise here with the previous appearance in Omaha only being in 2021, but it was some controversy here because due to COVID-19 outbreak within the team, they were disqualified. That's just part of history, can't do nothing about it. Still though, the Wolfpack have a combined record of 9-14 away from Raleigh. They've shown overall solid performance since the beginning of May, boasting a 12-4 record. All right, and in their Super Regional round against Georgia, they scored 18 of its total 27 runs via home runs, clinching victory in 3 games. So, although they have a bad record at home, NC State still managed to figure its shit out and beat Georgia to make it to the World Series. Even with that in mind, though, I cannot take away from Kentucky's power outside of Lexington. So I'm going to give it to Kentucky. And of course, you got number 3 Texas A&M against Florida, which is unranked. And of course, no matter what happens here, I'm always going to pick Texas A&M. Simply put, look, Evan Ashen leads the Division I pitchers with a 1.60 ERA. Okay, despite his role as a closer, Ashbank showcases his endurance by pitching 4.2 innings in an 11-inning victory over Texas in the original round. In other words, it don't matter how many innings he's going, he's gonna beat the crap out of you. Okay. Plus, the Aggies have the best ERA with 3.81 among all the participants in this year's College World Series, okay, ranking 5th in the nation. Among the remaining 8 teams, Texas A&M also played the fewest games away from College Station this season, with only 21 games on the road. So that does worry me, but even then, I still like their ERA. Now, Florida has been lucky. Since Kevin O'Sullivan have taken over in 2008, they've gone to Omaha 9 times. All right, given that before he took over, they had only gone 5 College World Series appearances. All right. Now, last year, Florida did reach the College World Series, losing to the eventual winners of LSU. So, they're hungry. Now, Jack, and I hope I said his name wrong, Caglianone, who's a very versatile player, holds the record for the most home runs amongst active college baseball players with 61. He also broke the BBCOR record for single season home runs last year with 33, which, given what's going on, this could be the match to see. However, Charlie Condon of Georgia surpassed his record of 36 home this year. Just an FYI, just a 2 cents. But even with that in mind, given Jack impressive performance, but the ability for Texas A&M to be down, especially against Oregon when they were down, I believe 5-1 or 6-1, and then have a 9-run inning, it's going to be interesting to see how Florida and Texas A&M match up. I don't believe that I think it's going to be this is going to be one of the games that's going to be a humongous slugfest. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Both teams are just pitching and hitting like crazy. And I think we're going to go down all the way down to the bottom of the bullpen to really see what's going on here. At the end of the day, though, I do give it to Texas A&M simply for the fact that they've played for behind, they've played hurt, and they've come back and destroyed it. I mean, that 15-9 win against Oregon when in reality everybody thought that they were done. I myself was like, well, we're going to go to game 3. Yep, that's it. And then coming with the 9-run inning in the 7th was amazing. Again, nothing against Florida. I think Florida deserves to be here. They've played great all season. But at the end of the day, I'm going to give it to my Aggies to win this one and move on to the second game. But let me know what you guys think about my picks. Who do you pick? And let's work from there. So, Panda, take us to our next thing. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for being here and listening to us. I hope you liked what we've learned so far of the 2 games from the NBA Finals. Yeah, my heart still hurts. I went away from home with my Spurs and it's backfired. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be okay. And of course, I hope you enjoyed my College World Series picks for the first 4 games. I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, I got a feeling that Florida against Texas A&M is going to be a slugfest. I think the game that's going to be the most boring here is going to be North Carolina against Virginia. I don't see how both teams, although great, can really do anything much in just maybe a low-scoring game. It just feels like it's either going to be, they're both going to have a lot of runs or 1 run, and it's just going to be like, I'm watching it play a game of catch. While with the A&M Florida team, I think that the pitching has just been so good on both sides of the ball that I would not hesitate to say Florida taking a 9-0 lead and then A&M coming back with an 11-run inning, and then Florida coming down with 2 runs and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So it's going to be interesting. And of course, the other 2, I think they're going to be pretty leveled out to kind of give us a consistent final. But thank you for joining us on this journey of speculation, analysis, and excitement. If you did enjoy today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback is invaluable as we continue to bring you the latest and greatest in sports. As always, guys, this is Hershey of Sports Unlimited. Until next time, sports fans, stay passionate and see you next time.